Hey guys, it's a nice sunny morning out here. So I told you guys I was going to do a video on diesel fuel additive, and I just kind of wanted to show you what the results are, at least what I found in my experience. So let's get right to it. So there's a lot of hot and heavy debate out there about diesel fuel additives. There's a guy who runs a YouTube channel called Project Farm. He does some really awesome stuff. And last year he did a video about diesel fuel additives, mainly anti-gel and winter additives. But he tested a lot of different brands, and the thing that surprised me about his tests was that the brands that I saw on the shelf most often, Power Service and some of the other ones, the ones you see at Walmart and all the different places, the really popular brands, well, those are the ones that performed the worst. In fact, some of them were just absolute junk and didn't do what they advertised at all. And it was really, really shocking to me. And the brand that actually did really well in his test was Hot Shots. So when I decided to do some diesel fuel treatment, I got this one from Hot Shots. This is the everyday treatment. Not really listed as a winter additive, although they do sell one that's a winter anti-gel additive. But anyhow, just because their brand did so well in that testing that Project Farm did, I decided to try this one out. Obviously, they make really good stuff. So, with these baby diesels, this is a 3-liter EcoDiesel, the new Gen 3 engine. All of these new diesels, including the baby diesels, use really, really sophisticated fuel systems. I mean, they're pressurizing the fuel to like 29,000 PSI. Really expensive and really complicated fuel systems. And with the new ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel that we have in America now, they say it's really important, to keep the fuel in a condition where it has some lubricity in it. That's one of the things this product claims to do. And it also says that it will increase power to a certain level and fuel economy. If you can see there on the bottle, increases fuel economy. So I figure, if you spend the money on purchasing this product, and if it does increase your fuel economy, you can save a little bit of money in the long run and give yourself a little bit more peace of mind having good lubricity in your fuel for your fuel system. So I've been trying it. I've been using this pretty much all summer and into the fall, and then I stopped using it for a while to see if there was any difference. I wanted to kind of get a good comparison before they changed over to the winterized diesel fuel, because I didn't want there to be any apples to oranges there. I wanted it to all be apples to apples. So I used this for a long time, and then back when the weather was still hot at the end of summer, I switched and I stopped using it. And so anyway, without further ado, here's the results that I found as far as fuel economy.
Okay, so taking a look at my fuel economy, we're going to ignore this section right here. Back in the early part of summer, you can see this is where I was towing, and so we're just going to ignore that. So this period from the middle of summer through current, you can see here that my fuel economy has been very consistent, actually, surprisingly consistent, almost exactly the same with every tank. There's some very minor fluctuations, and that's just, there's so many different variables, where you drive, the speed that you drive, there's a lot of different variables there. But for the most part, it's hanging out right around that 20 mile per gallon line, and it hasn't really changed hardly at all. Now this decrease right here that you see at the end of October and going into November, that's just because here where I live, they start selling winterized diesel fuel. Usually at the middle part of October, they start to distribute the winter fuel. So you always lose some fuel economy with the winter fuel, and that's what's up with that. But prior to that, from the middle of summer all the way into like the beginning of October, very, very consistent. And so this is what I was talking about. I can't really see any evidence here that the diesel fuel additive really increases fuel economy. And if it does, it's such a minor amount that it's hard to even really contribute the gain to that. So the bottom line is I'm not really seeing any advantage here. This entire section here from the middle of summer up into October, I was running the additive, and then I stopped using it for a while. I actually had a very slight bump there right after I stopped using it. But you can see this section here where I wasn't using any additive. compared to back when I was using it every tank, no difference at all. So there you go.
Now, one thing I will mention though, even though I did not see any increase in fuel economy, I have noticed that when I use this product, the engine does seem to run a little bit smoother. There's not as much of that diesel clatter, there's not as much vibration. It does run a little bit smoother, and it just seems like it kind of seems like the engine's a little bit happier. Just seat of the pants feel, audibly, and like I said, just feeling it in the seat, it just kind of runs a little better. As far as power goes, can't really say that I've noticed any feeling of more power, and I guess it'd be really hard to prove that unless you actually put this on a dyno and tried it. But I can't really comment on whether or not there's more power. It doesn't feel like there is, and again, there's not really much difference in fuel economy either. So does it lubricate? Maybe it does. Maybe it's a little healthier for the fuel system. Maybe that's why it runs a little smoother. So there's a small benefit here, but at this point, I'm going to say that in my opinion, there's probably not enough benefit to justify buying the product. And this is probably one of the better ones on the market, so I'm probably not going to buy any product anymore. If it gets really cold in the wintertime, I will use anti-gel just to give myself peace of mind that the fuel's not going to gel up on me. But otherwise, I'm probably not going to use a treatment anymore. The owner's manual for this specific truck says not to use treatment. So with the results that I've found here, I'm probably just not going to use it anymore. So there you go, my opinion, just based on what I've seen. I don't think it's worth it, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who would disagree with me. So hey, post some comments below. Let's have a little discussion about it if you want to. And as always, guys, I thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good week.
Yeah, it's 4-wheel bro. They're trying to put it 4-wheel drive, but I can't, bro. You got no damn power, dude.